In this lesson, we'll learn how to control the timing of our animations. Okay, so in the previous lesson, we set up custom motion paths for each one of these overlays on our cover page. And when we ended that lesson, we previewed our animation, and they were kind of animating in sort of a random order. Let me go ahead and preview that again for you here. You can see here that the first two reveal, and then the last four kind of reveal backwards here. Now, this is all actually controlled through the timing panel. It looks like a little stopwatch right here. Now, it's a simple enough concept. It basically controls the order in which multiple animations will play when they're all assigned to the same event. In this case, we are controlling animations that are assigned to the on-page load event. So let's go ahead and jump over to the animation panel, and you can see what we got here. I'll just zoom out and let you know that I've added a couple of other simple animations for this text down here, as well as a shape that's going to fade out and reveal our audio controls. So you can see here that each one of these overlay images has the name overlay 1 through 6 here. So in the timing panel, I'm simply going to find each one of those particular animations, and I'm just simply going to drag them here. So there's overlay 1 and 2. You can see here that if I click on that, we can look in the animation panel and see that is overlay 1. And these go pretty much in order. Let me just jump out of presentation mode. You can see 2, 3, 4, and 5. So back in the timing panel, let's go ahead and grab 3, and 4, and 5, and lastly 6. And we've just simply drugged them all so that these animations are going to play first. You can see right now we're working with animations based on the event on page load. We could always drop that down if our animations were based on maybe on page click. We're going to look at what happens when animations are based on another type of event, maybe on mouse over or on click here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and take a look at these particular animations again. Now, if we wanted all of these 6 animations to play at the exact same time, we could just hold down Shift and select all of them here, and then link them together with this button down at the bottom. So if we click that, it's going to say Play Together, and you can see here that they all get this little bracket to the side of them here. As it is, I don't want it to do that, so let's go ahead and break that link. Let me go ahead and select them all again and choose this Break Link button here. And let's go ahead and reorder these last 3 animations. I'd like the 3D portfolio of animation to play first, and then for the signature and the audio reveal overlay, I want those to play at the same time. So we'll go ahead and link those together here. Now, notice what happens when I click on the overlay 1. We have the option to delay that animation a certain amount of time. Now, if you remember here, by selecting that, we have our animations for each of those overlays set to 1/4 of a second here, which is actually working pretty good, and I don't think I want to delay those at all. So I might come down here and select this 3D portfolio of, and let's delay that maybe a 1/4 second. And let's go ahead and click on the signature and audio reveal overlay. If I select both of those 2 linked animations, you can see here that we can also control the number of times they'll play, and we can even set those to loop right here from the timing panel. Now, not only that, but we can also come over here and look in the panel flyout menu and choose to reassign them to a different event. You can see here that we can reassign them to on-page click instead of on-page load. And the same works if they were assigned to on-page click, we could reassign them to on-page load. You can see it's grayed out right now. So with that said, let's go ahead and preview the animation for this page. Go ahead and wait for InDesign to load that preview up. Alright, that looks a lot better, a lot more smooth. Now I may come in and just sort of polish some of these animations up just a little bit in between lessons. Looking at these here, I'm looking at an ease in speed, and I may actually play with the easing just a little bit to kind of smooth that out some. But let's come down here and look at page 4 really quickly here. Now, you may wonder what's going on here. I've actually got a couple of shapes here that I've added to the cover overlays layer. And what I'd like to do is just produce kind of a subtle animated transition into this page. Now we have the page transitions applied, which we're going to look at and talk about again here in the next lesson, but I kind of want these elements on the page to come in at different times. So maybe this text comes in first, maybe these shapes fade out first. So I tell you what, let's do. Let's go ahead and create some quick animations here. I'm going to grab all of these shapes that make up our video player, and let's go ahead and jump over to the animation panel and apply a fade in animation to those. And I'll give that something very quick, like another 1/4 second. I'll go ahead and grab this group of shapes down here that we have buttons assigned to, and let's go ahead and again apply a fade into those. Reduce that down to about a 1/4 second. I'll come in and apply again a third fade in for this body of text right here, and stick with another 1/4 second. And for these two shapes right here, let's go ahead and choose a fade out preset. And again, we'll go with a 1/4 second. Alright, great. Now we've applied animations to all of these different shapes and all these different elements on our page. Now if we preview it at this point, there's no telling what kind of order these are going to animate in. We're probably going to have just random objects fading in at random times. You can see here it's pretty much sticking to the order that I actually created the animations in, with the first animations that I created going first. Let's go ahead and group these together in the timing panel so that we can kind of control this with a little more detail. So maybe I want all of these animations right here for these elements to happen at the same time. We'll go ahead and select those first 4 elements here and link those together. Now these particular elements, again, were all in the same, we added them all at the same time, so those are going to be right here. Go ahead and group those together or link those together. Now here's our body of text right here. It starts with the process and produce. We're going to go ahead and leave that one where it is, but let's scroll down just a little bit and let's link these 2 rectangles together. Now I'm going to reorder these really quickly. I'm going to go and drag these up to the top. I want our navigation to come in first. Just go ahead and move that to the top. And next I want the text to come in. We'll come in and drag that up here. And after that, let's see, I want the video to actually come in last. We'll go ahead and drag that down. There we go. Alright, great. So let's go ahead and preview this now and see what this animation is going to look like. Alright, here we go. So that seems pretty nice. I like the transition where it's showing this information here first and then almost moving from right to left, hitting the text, bringing in this small thumbnails, and then finally the video for this page. Alright, great. So I tell you what, at this point, go ahead and experiment some in your own project files with timing on various animations throughout this project. When you come back in the next lesson, we're going to wrap this course up by learning how we can export our documents out for Flash.